Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
See, I'll not deny that it is a twin flame. It's the 7 of 5. Can you hear me, Anu?
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it is a twin flame. And the energy, of course, is very spiritual, just to tell you that this is the 7 of fire.
Okay.
Which in itself says that, there's but it's a flame which has been divided into two, is how it comes to me, with a lot of guidance. So there has been a spiritual connection, because there is a guidance card here, which clearly is indicating that the reason that the two of you, that the flame had divided into two, that one soul became two, was because of a spiritual. That's the essence, that's the energy that the two of you carry, and probably that's also the reason that you felt that whole expansion. The spiritual side would have also got a lot activated. At the same time, I see that ever since you met him, you have a career, right? Because I'm seeing your leadership, your career, your assets, your finances. That's the area that got affected, required you to do more, kind of put in more dutiful energy into your work or whatever you desired. Did that kind of a shift activate?
As in, it should become better or it should become worse?
No, it got, doesn't
Better.
matter worse. No, it's about activation. Was that area which got triggered, if I would put it like that?
I mean, it is there. But I have been doing some, I mean, because I have been so distracted in the last 5-6 months, I've not been really putting my energy into work. So,
Yes,
or
right.
into,
So that would
yeah.
have affected, because that's what I'm seeing, that the minute you would have met him, this has triggered. And even if you know him, it has somewhere triggered his leadership, his
Oh, he
something
got a
in that
promotion.
space. Yeah.
He got a job change. He got a promotion, everything.
Yeah.
He got a lot of opportunities. Actually, this is why I wanted to know that one of my concerns was, is the universal consciousness really wanting us to be together, really wanting us to unite in sense? Because when I met him after a couple of months, and I mean, his talks were going on for his job for a long time, for maybe 6 months before that, but he had accepted and decided on taking it up. And the job was in another, and he took that job, but it was decided to take it in another city, but he was not moving his family there, like Mumbai, Pune. So he's working in Pune. And in that way, because we were getting romantically involved, he even asked me, do you want to move to Pune? I was like, what? This is, but is like, I would like just say it gave us a window of opportunity to be spend some time, because if he was in with his family, it wouldn't have happened. So what is all this universe? Is this universal forces driving it? What is in the store? Is that really a future? We are also arguing, like intensely argue together at times. But what is there? I mean, what am I supposed to do with this now? That's the
I
question.
have just started the study.
Okay.
So I think you need to, with me, you'll need to have some patience. I will, all your answers, whatever the tarot is going to tell you, will be addressed, will be shared. Because, see, I'm an intuitive reader. So for me, I put in all the energy to receive whatever has to be received. I know what you were asking, so we will keep that parked aside. Whatever the tarot is telling me, I'll share with you and request you to let me know whether it is like that or not. At the end of the study, if there are any questions that are left regarding anything which you feel is unaddressed, and if tarot is ready to answer within the set, I will let you know. Generally, more or less, everything is answered by tarot, so don't worry. I know your end question is that, is it something which is, yes, it is a twin flame. It definitely is. Your second question, which you addressed, which I already told you before, was that, yes, it is spiritually guided. One more thing, Anu, you're already into spirituality. So you would be aware that everything in the universe is not this, everything has a reason. Everything, there are no coincidences. So in your spiritual alignment and in your journey in this life, the two of you are twin flames. I don't know how exactly do you perceive of twin flames, but how I have understood and channeled it is that twin flames is a division of the soul into two different personalities, because the task that they have taken up is a bigger task which the soul by itself could not have completed. So that's why it decides. So there are triggers and they are trying to basically benefit each other's life purpose, so that whether they come around or not is a different. At times they just do not come around. At times they come around. At times they go through journeys where they'll meet, then they will fight, then they will meet, then they will fight. And they cannot be together. They cannot be separate. And I assume that's how you're also going through it. So I think that addresses the first question, which is, are we twin flames, right? Does that address it for you? Right?
Yeah.
Yes, it is spiritually guided, because I said there is a spiritual connect. In any case, everything is spiritually guided, but there is a spiritual connect even from the past lives, or a life that either they have lived earlier also as twin flames. As to me, it appears this is the first life as twin flames. All right.
Okay.
And very possible, even if this is not the first life, but what I'm also receiving it is there's a lot of, are you 33 years of age or something?
Me?
What's
No.
your age? You are
42.
42. Is he 43?
No, same age. We are
Same age, because I'm
born.
receiving 43 as the innocence number. That's why I was first shown this, I kept quiet, but okay, let's see.
We are born 1 week apart, 100 kilometers away.
Sure. So yeah, my next question to you, of course, was whether this has got to do with your shift in your sets, your finances. So while you said that, yes, the solar plexus did get affected for you, wherein you saw that there was a not downfall, but maybe things regressed or stood still. And for him, they suddenly raised up. There was a increase, you said, nah? He got promoted, he got a raise and all that stuff happened. Yes, that is the energy, because one will go uphill, one will go, and that's the only way they will find a way to come together. So that is exactly what the cards were showing me, that this has also come in. This twin flame energy in itself is talking about a transition, which is about holding your beliefs, about standing by yourself, taking decisions, and choosing every battle very wisely. Literally hitting the solar plexus to a large extent, wherein somewhere the bigger, if I put it like a challenge or an opportunity, is going to be being very, very dedicated, being very, you will notice that it would be a diligent, painstaking self which is coming around when it comes to work, when it comes to confidence, when it comes to leadership values, whether it is at work. But largely I'm seeing it's got to do with your assets, with finances. Those are the areas where the two will see most of the triggers, whether it is upscale or it is downhill, but the challenge would be to come together at those levels. So it could at times also be, you could have 4 for instance, a twin flame energy can be talking about, I don't like things like this, or I need more money to do it. And the other person is like, I think I'm just, it's like money somewhere, assets, finances, all these kind of come into question for the two of you. So that will be somewhere, maybe the reason, I don't know what was the reason that the two of you really didn't go along, but was it somewhere about the finances, about ambition? Was it about assets? Was it about, do you think you can really manage the finances that well? Did money, assets, belongings somewhere come into the picture, or as a thought?
It was about yeah, I mean the argument. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sometimes because he's very self-sacrificing in that sense. He wants to do the best for his family, but not for himself. Like he wouldn't.
So does
Uh,
money, things like that really become factored in? He's very dutiful, and I see even you would be dutiful. One of you would definitely be more hardworking, more like doing things just very diligently. It's my duty, so I need to do it.
okay.
And that's what he's teaching the other one as well, or she's teaching the other one. Does that happen? Because since you've just kind of met, what are the areas? Does this kind of become some area of often discussion
I think
between the two?
the problem would always be from arising because there will be an expectation, and they I mean his own personal life, family life versus me. So it was always the expectation clashes.
Is he a very dutiful person when it comes to
Yeah.
finances, work, leadership? Do
Yes.
any one of you really want to be good leaders? Is there a confidence issue in either of the two? It could either be an issue or it could be too much.
So I am not working full time now, but yeah, he has, and he has always been very good leader in that sense.
Yeah.
He has been, yeah.
And
He
does
is a
he tell you
leader.
often, why aren't you working? Don't you think you should do that? Have your own stuff, have your own money.
No, I mean I have never asked him for money, but it was
No,
so
not
it
that you
was
will ask him. Does he encourage you to
okay.
work? Does he encourage you to
No,
have
he did not
leave?
have any say in my personal matters. Yeah. No.
And you've known each
Um,
other? You said it's
sorry.
5-6 months. You've known each other for about 5-6 months, a year is what you said?
Yeah, correct.
See, the purpose for which the two of you have really met is to set priorities in place. And a lot of priorities will be coming from, from thinking. So very thought-driven people, very airbound people.
Okay.
Prioritizing. So for him also, it would be prioritizing. Though he would like you, but somewhere the priorities would be either you or somebody else, but he has to set the priorities, and likewise it will be for you as well. And it could come in as a challenge with another person in the life as well, which you already said that, the wife, he's already married. So
Yeah.
one of you would always have somebody else in mind, especially him, because it's a very feminine energy here.
Okay.
So setting priorities right is like the thing, the purpose, which you both have come here together in life. And an important lesson that you two need to learn together is to learn to have decisions, stronger decisions, not giving up on whatever you brought around, protecting whatever you've created. Again, having the courage to stand by your own belief systems, by your own belief. So decision making is something that is an important lesson that the two of you have to learn in this lifetime.
Okay.
How will you to grow from this is, one is your spiritual sides. Another is that there would be certain things that will come up as revelations in this lifetime for each other. And a lot of it is going to go into activating your spiritual lives, your emotional growth to get, together in the senses, maybe as separate people working on similar lines, which is that some things will happen in life. For instance, hypothetically, as of now, for instance, he gets to know that the person he was investing too much on, probably his spouse, is already having an affair somewhere else. I'm just being very hypothetical. But I'm just saying that could be your revelation, something one is not expecting. And that is going to trigger the growth, which is going to be taking the person into a more spiritual side. Again, this revelation that, oh my God, I love somebody else outside my marriage is equally a revelation, which is again going to activate a spiritual growth for the two of you. So the two of you are basically, you will grow together through your spirituality, through these secrets that will kind of unveil themselves. So you will support each other to grow spiritually, leaving behind the past. Your lives, after completing the purpose that the two of you have met here for, your lives are going to be, is like relaxed. It's surrender. I let go of whatever thoughts, stresses, tensions that I'm creating. That's the bigger purpose. That is what you two will finally, that's a lesson. That's what you are going to complete as a lesson when you are, finally going to be completing this journey. Something that you can do to complete this bond is healing. Healing your relationships with your families. Happiness in the family. No, not Ganesha. Healing your relationship with the family, which is that wherever he is, that is what he needs to, really work on, is basically bringing in that happiness into his family life.
So it is about he bringing that happiness in
and
his
you
family
bringing
life.
that in your life. That is what the two of you have literally, that's how you strengthen your bonds together.
So I need to heal my family life.
Yeah, and he
I
needs
don't
to
have a
heal
family.
his whenever that happens.
But he has
And also,
yeah.
It also states at the same time that, so family is going to be something. So does he have a family? Sorry to ask you, but does he have a family life, or you have a family life which feels slightly not so settled, complete in your parents' house?
I mean, I have my mother. She is my family.
And him?
He has his parents, wife, one kid from
No, forget
his.
about the wife, but his childhood family, his parents. How is that relationship?
He loves his parents. He is quite responsible for his parents, but because of his marriage, that relationship is like he can do less for them now, and not as much as he would like. He has a son from his last marriage. He was divorced earlier, and the custody of the son was given to the wife. His first wife, when the son was maybe 2 years old, so he has like suffered separation from his son, he has suffered disloyalty from his wife. She
There you
had
go. That's why healing relationships with the family aspect of it. That's why I said in
with the
your
son
family.
or his past wife,
No,
but last
overall
wife.
family. So his sense, family life remains incomplete. The priority is his priorities are not set right. Though he wants to, but unfortunately, what happens is that for this healing space, for instance, if he had been married to you, it would have still come into question. And were you not his twin flame? It would have still come into question, could need healing.
But
So
how will he heal his relationship with his son?
that's a
Or
karma
his,
that's a karma that that's why I asked you, how is your family life? How is your mother? Like,
I have an okay relationship with my mother. With
Mhm.
my brother's family, I don't have a good relationship now. But earlier it was better. So now it is, I mean, but I have forgiven them a lot after I met my twin flame because of my big heart chakra and, a lot of unconditional love flowing.
Yes,
So I
yes.
could, in that sense, heal them. I have been trying to reach out to those family members. I also forgave my mother when she like because of few other things. So a lot of
Yes.
forgiveness has gone through me, but also because I am the one who's spiritual. I
Yeah, whatever the reason becomes,
Yeah,
the
but
purpose
I
of
don't
the
know
two,
how he will be able to
that
heal.
will be his karma thing. So that for that, he has to get his thing done. But what I can tell you from this reading, which you are getting done as a twin flame reading, is that how will your bond come together is basically at their own levels, like you mentioned. His family, he any case has a recurring pattern with an unhappy family life. Though he loves his family, but his marriage gets broken. Family life there for him is marriage. For you, is it a delayed marriage? Did you ever get married? So how
No,
does that work? So it's a delayed marriage. You haven't yet gotten married.
no,
Do
no.
relationships become a problem?
Yes.
Yes. So there it goes. So basically, the two of you can only come together by either working on your own, like when he came into your life. And you, as you clearly mentioned, you were able to heal your family to a certain extent, your relationship in the family, in the existing family, right? For
Yeah.
him, for him, that is how the twins work. For one, something which was absent will start working. For another, something else will be working. So, that's how they're kind of trying in their own ways to come together at a certain point. So where the two of you will find, be triggering a kind of a bond where he will talk to you more or where you will share more would be the helping each other to come close to their families, to work, to find happiness in the little things. So healing the family life, healing that becomes a very natural process, at times very organic the minute you meet. Either you trigger in him a set of priorities that no, I need to be with my family. Even if you are there, the priority will end up being them.
Mm-hmm.
Or it will come up as a revolution, which will disrupt his family again.
So, but if
So
he
I'll
does
not be
not grow, if he
surprised.
becomes more spiritual, will that help? Like he's currently not spiritual at all.
In any case, the cards are showing that yes, and I'll not be surprised if his wife gets to know about you very soon. Because
Really?
his spiritual aspect will also be triggered when some kind of a secret unveils itself, and so will yours be. So
As
something
in,
will unveil. I don't know when did your spiritual journey really begin? When was your heart chakra open? Was it after meeting him more?
after meeting him, yeah.
Exactly. See, so that's a revelation. Oh, I really didn't have that side of me.
Uh, yeah, as in, so it was like even for me, the spiritual journey began 20 years back. It's like
Yeah, but when
not
did the whole
now.
thing really? That's what I'm asking. So, what revealed after you met him? Tell me one thing.
my desires for him. A lot of, I mean, the Kundali was still there, but then even if I listened to, like, if he would message me and my phone is even away on, and it would always be, a level of desire which would be
Right?
in the
So that
connection.
suddenly triggered, it wasn't something
It
which
was
was
telepathic. Yeah, I could like
right.
feel telepathically that he is wanting to talk to me or be with me, or what kind of energy is he sending to me, and I would get physically hot, like,
Yes.
even if I
So
do
did you
chakra
see a
balancing.
shift? Exactly. So did you see a shift from where your spiritual journey was to where it became after he came into your life?
Yeah, I kind of felt my feminine self more, and things which were
Exactly.
not in my life, which I needed to attend to, like my love life or my passion, or I was maybe trying to curb it, then it came to the forefront. And
Yes.
but more my desires were always like, because my heart chakra was always connected to him. Heart chakra is
Yeah. So
connected.
when we are
If
talking
my
about
desires were also for him, it was not
exactly.
like random. It was not like standalone desires erupting. It was always
See, you
for
would
him.
have,
Yeah.
yeah, Anu, you would have met many men before him.
I never felt like this.
Exactly. So now you
No.
understand when I say revelation and when I say a spiritual enhancement and emotional growth, spiritual growth, desire to move away from the past. So all of this for you also happened like a revelation that how the hell did this come around when I do not even know this person from anywhere? I've
Yeah.
just kind of met him. And then you were spiritual before that, but there was an enhancement moving away from that part of you, which was more shielded, to a part of you which was going out openly, feeling something for somebody so much in your body, which is a spiritual side, right? Because you suddenly
Yeah.
your
So
heart
even
chakra
if
is opening.
if my mind was saying no, 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 even my I mean, my mentors in the spiritual journey, they would say, no, just stay away from this person. And I just could not, because again and again, and very recently, like, for example, I was with with my master, and it was like we were doing a meditation, and the energy was of like my master's energy, even so pure, so alive. And all I was having was just desires in myself. Like, I was like, what is this hell is happening? I'm supposed to do a meditation, but instead of the meditation, this is what I am. Like, you understand, like, this is what I am made of. This is like the whole desires and the whole passion. And basically, because I had argued and I thought I'm never going to speak to my twin flame again. And then like, all of a sudden, when this thing happened, and then you're forced to think that no, we have a bond which is um unconditional love, or like a bond which is cannot be broken. I don't know this, like, so I really felt that. And which is, I mean, I don't know if that happens to everybody, but it did happen to me again and again and again and again. It will keep happening.
Yeah, yeah.
um
Yes.
so what will be his revelation? What is the revelation in his life? Because okay, his first marriage failed because of his wife's mistake, but the second marriage is i mean
I
i
don't know
mean
what will be his revelation for his second marriage, but I definitely know that certain things in both of your lives will
yeah.
suddenly happen, which are very unexpected, or certain truths will unveil themselves, certain secrets will come out, which will activate the spiritual enhancement in his life. As I can randomly tell you, could be his wife gets to know about you, and things start changing, and that probably triggers, for instance, tomorrow you might find somebody, and you might just, and these are hypothetical statements, you might find somebody and you might just go ahead with the person, and he who is being so committed to his family somewhere and being very dutiful, he's not there with love perhaps, but he's being very dutiful, might not like the whole idea, and he starts taking a spiritual side, starts discovering that part of him. So what I'm trying to give you is a bigger picture of anything which can be revealed, because I don't know him, I haven't done his study. So for that, I can clearly say that certain things which will suddenly reveal themselves, like in your case, this is what happened, and you went into a higher journey. For him also, that something will trigger his spiritual aspect, for sure.
Okay, right. So even if we are not in contact, is this exchange of energy, like, is it going to be constantly happening? Can we take a conscious decision not to be in touch if it is hampering his family life? Because naturally, I don't want him to suffer loss of another child, or you know how divorces are. So I don't want, I mean, I wouldn't want, he wouldn't want, definitely.
See, what your cards are showing me is that the way how you will heighten, in fact, your vibration somewhere is to take a decision to get married.
We will try to take a decision to get
That
married.
is, no, that is how you can literally heighten this whole vibration. The other way of it is, of course, to move away. But it seems that in this life, the two of you have come here, that it'll go to the level that you will want to get married. Because what your cards show to me somewhere is that it is, even if you will move apart, something will get you back together. Because what you have come here to, help him reach his highest potential is actually to build on the capacity to love. The only other way that he can definitely, uh, which is going to be a little hard because I haven't done his karmic reading with his wife, so I have no idea. But what I can say is the only other way that he sets his priorities right and completely, which is going to be tough, but completely cut off from you and concentrate only and only on his family. Totally on his family, which is going to be tough again, Anu, I'm telling you. It is not something which I'm saying it is going to be very easy, because the minute that disconnect will happen, I do see things going down in his confidence, in his leadership, probably affecting his finances.
I mean, no, so I mean, I mean, this I have realized that yes, because we have this bond. Like, I have had major health issues after COVID, which healed. Like, like they healed a lot after I met him. I was majorly depressed. I had physical issues. I had lung issues. I couldn't walk 100 meter. Like, I had huge lot of medical conditions which have healed, like a total 180 degrees healing for me physically. And that is more than any amount of money I could have made in that like a year or so. But so that was a major change for me. The happiness quotient for me, yes, from 2 by 10 to 9 by 10, it was really like my vibrations are very positive. They went from depressed to desperate, if that was, because that is a thing. So both love, vibrations of love, both vibrations of desperateness, both of them were there. But
What made you
I
to
don't
not
know.
decide to get married? I mean, just sorry, maybe I forgot that point because I was more into
No,
this
I didn't
space.
decide to not get married. I wanted to marry him. But there must be some small there. Yeah, I mean, I was moving. I asked him, but we didn't have much time because I was moving overseas. I had a job offer overseas. So I was like, either you decide or I will go. And then we were not in a relationship. It was an arranged thing. But being from coming from a moralistic point, I was like, and we were in different cities even then. So couldn't give it that time. We couldn't give it that priority. But I did miss him even when I, um, went ahead to take that job offer. But he immediately, like, maybe because of his past divorce and he has he still had huge temper. And I think he was able to be more mature in taking a rational decision instead of emotional decision. I don't know. But he had, the
Hmm.
next marriage he had was a love marriage. So. I have no clue why we did not get married. It's not something that I can decide. It's destiny, right? I mean, that's what
So,
happened.
so basically what your study has showed to me is that um, the way in this life for the two of you to literally, marriage is the way which at least the cards are suggesting for your vibrations to go up. And
Our vibrations
well,
to go
if
up.
yeah,
What does that even
basically is
mean?
together, coming together is going to literally help you to build on that task of meeting up with your life purpose together. So the minute the
So
two
that
of
is
you
if
vibrations also go,
my life purpose is, I know it's very spiritual. My teacher, my
so you're
mentors
going to
already,
activate, you
they
activate his,
already
na,
want me
he's
to become a
absent.
teacher. They want me to become like I have associated with Art of Living and suddenly became a volunteer. Then others are telling me, my soul family is telling me to become a teacher, become a teacher. But if I am not happy, I may not be able to become a happy teacher. That was my
Exactly, I'm
first thing.
saying that's exactly what I'm saying, that your
So
vibrations, when the two of you are together, as maybe as a married couple, all of that purpose with its own challenges is going to reach a heightened stage. It is going to speed up, including your challenges, which might appear up in the financial or the asset space, will start coming and becoming better. They will turn into opportunities. This whole desire to be together, at least what the cards are now show, the cards are stating, is that it is the whole thing. That is why the challenges for the two of you either would be to help each other build up your own families where you are and completely find happiness, but what also shows to me is कि वो आप लोग एक दूसरे की लाइफ से बाहर नहीं जा रहे. So the
no,
only way, sorry,
I mean, how long will we be in each other's life? Finally, he will move with his family and his job in Pune. He will
you
go
can
back.
always be together and ये होगा, मतलब then you get married.
But what will make us get married? I mean, there is nothing that will. I mean, wouldn't want to break his family. He doesn't want to break his
Don't do
family.
it. Don't do it. It will happen with the same time if it has to. At
On
least
its
that's what
own.
your cards. On its own, if you both are still meeting, let's see now. I mean, I can tell you where you are today, right? So what I'm saying, at the minute that you will to withdraw from each other and cut off, it is going to impact the financial condition. जिसकी वजह जो एक वजह से उनके लिए भी उनकी financial condition जो ऊपर गई थी, वो कहीं ना कहीं it will not go, it will get affected. All right. So see, when you have come together, जो चीजें आपकी enhance हुई हैं आपके level पे और उनके level पे, वो चीजें फिर से नीचे आएंगी और फिर वही चीजें आपको वापस लेके आएंगी.
Ha. Even if I tell him something like this, he will probably not believe it.
Yeah, he will not, because that is something which he will learn when his things in life will change.
Right. So we will come together because of finances and not love.
No,
Yeah.
you're not getting the point.
I
The
am.
point that
I'm
I'm
just
trying to
kidding.
say,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
what
know.
I'm
I
trying
can
to,
see that.
because वो new beginning तो होगी, and there's a promising future together. Now, you have a free will is what I can say. But this is what the two of you have gotten for each other.
But even if he wants to give me that attention, that time, that the normal couple life, but he is not able to do that because of his family, because of his current wife. He has to maintain that phone mat karo ya baat nahi karo ya time, separate out the two things.
So, Anu,
um
I will say कि बंद कर दो. फिर मिलोगे, क्या करूंगी? I can't do anything about it. You will meet again.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, then I will only have to, I mean, if the universe is so bent upon saying you have to meet, you have to meet, then let the universe, I mean, if his wife has to go, she has to go on his own. Why should I become
Yeah,
a
of course.
reason?
Exactly. Make that choice.
But then his first wife went away. It was not because of me.
Because no, that's his karma also, na. वो अपना भी
Right.
तो कर्मा लेके आया ना. जो ट्विन एक एक फ्लेम है, वो जब बदली है, पर्पस वो एक ही लेके आई है. आपकी शादी अभी तक नहीं हुई ना. और उनकी
Yeah.
शादी में 2 बार ऐसी शादियां हो गई. एक आप बीच में आए और आप साथ में नहीं हो सके. कहानी है. दिस इज अ स्टोरी.
Yeah. Yeah.
One soul divides itself because it wants to achieve something bigger, which is not able to do it by itself. What is the core base that it comes with it is leadership, courage to do things, solar plexus, money, finances. वो ट्रिगर होते हैं. हो सकता है वहां पे वाइफ को लेकर के पैसे. ड्यूटीफुलनेस इज वेरी, like even you are
Yeah.
being very dutiful by saying कि नहीं, मतलब you're married, I don't want things to go wrong. But अब वो फ्लेम बार बार लाती है ना साथ में. क्या रीजन है कि आप उनसे मिले अभी रिसेंटली? अगर मिले तो जब भी मिले.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't just think of anything else but to meet him. I mean, it is always like that. I would be like, I just have to go because he cannot come because of his commitments and his family. And then I always have to prioritize. I mean, it is just in my head that wherever I have to go, I have to go and, make a detour and go and see him if it is possible. But at times things become, I mean, but there was a time, like even when he has a bad temper, he is short tempered, he would when we argue, then he would not even want to meet me. So I mean,
That's
definitely
normal. That's normal, huh? That happens between couples, regular
couple.
couples.
Yeah.
What is so abnormal about it? Husbands block their
Right.
wives' phone, they move out of their groups, Facebook accounts. This is normal. And then they come back.
Yeah,
What is
but
so
we are not
abnormal?
husband and wife, so wo hak.
Exactly. Why are you behaving like that? हक तो आप ही दिखा रहे हो.
Yeah, so I mean, the solar plexus, I think that always channelizes a lot of energy. So even okay, when even we are thinking ki nahi, प्यार नहीं है, and then that whole fire will start burning, and again things will start happening. Irrational takes over rational
See, something which
mind.
is showing to me in his life is new beginnings. And ये आप observe करो कि जब से आप मिले होगे उनकी लाइफ में ना, हर बार वो एक न्यू बिगनिंग होगी. चाहे वो उनके करियर को लेके हो, चाहे वो उनको फैमिली को लेकर हो, चाहे वो उनकी जनरल कोई भी अर्थ रिलेटेड चीजों से हो. इट्स ऑलवेज लीडिंग टू न्यू बिगनिंग्स फॉर हिम. सो वो है उनके साथ. एंड आपकी
Even when I
इंट्यूशन,
met him, so
इनसाइट.
I also got my job offer abroad. So I was like, but it was not for us to come together. It was a new beginning for each of us separately,
And then
which
he
is
got
very
married
rare.
somewhere. Then he got a job offer. He continued with his hike. And you
Yeah,
are
for
back in
him
India.
it was a good settled family life. For me it was, and I'm for me it was suffering because I was always wanting to get married, wanting to have children more than wanting to get married. So for me not having children has been a very disturbing thing, like something which I always desired. And then maybe this lesson also came because when I met him I prioritized that no, maybe I want to have a life partner as much as I would want to have children. Those are two separate things.
अब मैं आपको एक चीज दिखाऊंगी. मैंने आप एक सेट पहले खोला था about the twin flame, and now I opened it another way. And what I told you in that set was that, and I showed you the card saying that what is it that you're going to fulfill when you complete the journey. And in
Okay.
this set, it is showing me the same thing, surrender,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it just simply goes to say that the ultimate thing is of letting go, starting afresh, surrendering to certain fears, whatever the two of you have had in your lives. He seems to have a pattern in relationships. So when I say, when the cards say, and for him as well as for you somewhere, there is a desire. There's a desire for celebration of life. And that celebration is definitely affected by Five of Water, which is a card of emotional dissatisfaction, begrudging, relationship dissatisfaction, somewhere even crying over, maybe if I had got married to her and not her, kind of him and not this one, maybe I had taken a decision to talk at that time and say, listen, I can stop and I want to get married to you. But that didn't happen.
Maybe that is a guilt I have.
Because it showed me the candid card as well, that he's also telling you
Yeah.
to be more candid, to be more open. That's probably something that he tells him, talk, open to communication,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, so I
right?
am the one who's trying to, be open, more talk and more cajole when we have arguments, because at that time I decided to move away. Like I mean, if I would
And
have
that's
not,
something the two of you mirror in each other.
what is that mirroring means?
Mirroring is that if you're not talking, then you're telling him that, you should not be talking as well. But if you're over talking, you're also telling him that talk, you need to talk. So
Mm-hmm.
there's mirroring of being candid, being open, not keeping things to yourself. Also, when you met him, since you already told me, but the card also says your insights became better, because the minute you will meet him, your insights, your intuitions, your, the psychic abilities become strong. And that's exactly what you said, that you suddenly felt drawn. You wanted to kind of have this new person in your life, emotionally feeling very,
Actually, I am also a healer. Like I have done pranic healing, I have done Silva healing. We do treat patients. I've not been able to do that for some time, a month maybe. But suddenly after I met him, I mean, I think it was also after we became involved in intimacy. And the next week, I was looking at patients with just psychic. It's a psychic healing, right? So I was out of maybe 10 patients, 4 to 6 were bang on for me. Like I could like really tell, and maybe other healers were not. And earlier it would be 0 or 1 or 2, and then 4 to 6, and that also very specifically bang on has never happened with me. Like,
exactly.
this person is not well and this area is not right, or this kidney, or this is what is wrong with that health. So my psychic abilities were like growing, and I was like, oh my god, this is like I'm getting better at this. This is what I wanted to do. Or maybe is do I need to become a healer? Do I see myself taking on more healing jobs, or do some kind of work? Even my own work is on hold now, because I want to take up projects which are more in the social impact space, like more public service, or which also involves me getting more money. But then it should be, I look at my whole desire to do a normal corporate job has gone away, and my desire to do social space work in the social space for the next 20 years has become very huge. So I can like that would just give me satisfaction, a lot of satisfaction. So those things has happened, it does. And
Yeah.
so whenever we are arguing, whenever we are not together, I don't know if I complete. That's what I'm asking you, that if we cut off completely,
This
what
all
all
will go
will
away.
become? Is मतलब
This will all
तूफान आ
become a
जाएगा?
challenge. तूफान नहीं आएगा, बट ये चीजें काफी हद तक इफेक्ट हो जाएंगी.
Like all our ambitions, his family life, my family life, his
No,
ambitions.
family life might still, because see, yes, to a certain extent, because to a large extent, because I guess this life is for you, two of you to come together.
But you just said we
This
have
is